accident which happened on June 12th, unfortunately, AI-1171, the captain knew that the control is going lost. So the thrust is losing and he's know that he's losing altitude. So immediately he took that one and he said, Mayday, Mayday. So the ATC was asking, what is your call sign? Because out of the way, suddenly he said, so that if whatever the problem, if they're landing, they wanted to know where to track that particular one. But by the time he could say anything, they saw the aircraft landing outside the airport on the building.
Okay.
So there was no particular thing to be told that this is the aircraft which met with this accident.
Yeah, got it. So how do you feel from your lens as an expert? The investigation is going on around this crash.
So finally we have come to that. So 171, that both the pilots are good enough experience. The left-hand seat, that is the commander. The commander sits on the left-hand seat and the first officer on the right-hand side. So he has good experience, about 15,000 hours plus
Senior
as a
pilots,
pilot, very senior pilot. And of course, on this particular aircraft, about 8,000 hours. So there is no reason why people are talking that some sabotage has been happening, or some people have deliberately put this switch. The pilots have put the report. Whatever has made has simply said the fuel switches have transitioned from run to cut off. Okay, but whether I really doubt. See, I'm not a Boeing person, as I told you already. I'm a 320 person. So has the switches actually have gone from run to cut off, and then the pilot has, then they said that again it was put to run so that immediately one of the engines could recover, but the other engine could not recover. But by that time the enough altitude was lost, so it could not gather itself. The aircraft could not gather itself. So naturally these switches are controlling one valve, fuel valve inside the engine, which will basically close or open.
And I also heard that this is not just you can pull off and it gets
correct. Any
shut down.
Control in an
It's a
aircraft will be
process.
like any control in an aircraft, just by nudging or touching, generally it doesn't happen unless there's some locking mechanism failure. So you need to pull it up, okay, then take it to run. And then you leave it again, it comes again, you pull it up and then take it to cut off, like that.
So could not be by accident, or someone has to be deliberate, but you can't blame on a dead pilot.
Correct. So so that is what is the basic presumption. That, but are they talking about the switch, or are they talking about the valve inside which is cut off and then closed and again it opened? So if there's a software glitch which has already happened in one of the Air Nippon Airways of Japan, this same 787 aircraft has happened, this one, where the fuel valve closed.
Aircraft.
Same 787, I am saying you. So the fuel valve has closed and opened. But fortunately for them, it has happened during approach.
Okay.
So the pilot could manage to get the aircraft on the landing. So both the engines shut down, and then they took the ground help and the aircraft was stowed to the gate. So that happened. So nothing, no fatalities, nothing. Fortunate for them, it happened during the approach. And then, we do not know what exactly happened. So, and then that report also said, that AIB report, one pilot asked, why did you cut off? And the other pilot said, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. What exactly was the conversation about? Was it about the fuel switches only? The only words, why did you cut off? And he said, no, I didn't.
They have not released the full conversation. No. This is only a quote from within.
So there's something called black box. You almost see now everybody has become an aviation expert after the media has been talking so much about that. Every day you have some piece of information about that, and videos, so many YouTube videos from foreign media. So in this aircraft, we have got two black boxes. So one in the forward, one in the aft. Like otherwise, the aircraft what I was teaching, A320, it had only one black box in the rear. So they had two black boxes, and normally black boxes including one CVR and one FDR. CVR is cockpit voice recorder, which is completely recording whatever is happening in the cockpit.
So this, even small the sound investigators takes the recording from
total transcript of the CVR is there, and a CVR can record for the last 2 hours. So it keeps on recording on the same thing. Anytime you take, last 2 hours information will be there. Okay. So like that we have an FDR, flight data record, where it is configured for 25 hours, but otherwise you can configure it for more hours also. Nowadays it has become chip technology, ICs and everything, so the capability is more, but otherwise DGCA mandates for at least last 25 hours. So all the parameters of important systems, whichever is supposed to be essential for a proper flight, they're all being recorded. A set of parameters continuously, again and again.
Are there cameras also recording? No.
No cameras inside the cockpit.
Is there any safety protocol there, or?
No cameras inside the cockpit. So, but otherwise, IATA and other people have been saying, in case anything like this, like if there had been a camera now, we could have actually known whether it was done by the crew or not. So, but that is not there. If you have cameras outside, So that is basically no intrusion can happen. Nobody can just get into the cockpit. So basically for a hijacking situation. So there's we have the displays inside the cockpit where the flight crew can actually check who is trying to come in. It will be logged, of course, all the time. So even somebody taps or there's a procedure for them how a cabin crew will try to access a cockpit entry for sometimes to give them some tea and coffee and other things. So they have a protocol which will be again discussed before flight. The captain says this is what you're supposed to do this so that I will allow you. So she does that. So he will check whether it is the same lady or one of the cabin crew standing there, and then he'll unlock the door so that she can push the door and come inside. But in case it is somebody else, then he'll double lock it so that he cannot enter at all.
Okay.
So we do not know exactly what has happened, and I, for one, truly feel that without knowing anything, we should not disgrace a person. That too, when he is not able to defend himself, he is no more. We do not know actually what is, but already the foreign media is saying first officer asked, captain has answered, then and everything.
Yeah, there's a narrative that the Indian pilots can't fly.
Why this is not right. Absolutely not right. So at least you should respect yourself to say such things, isn't it? And you cannot keep talking about a person who cannot defend himself. That too, not knowing correctly whether it is actually done by him or not. See, it's one of the newspapers itself have said that he's very attached to his father. That much everybody agrees. And then before getting onto the flight, he called up his father and said, "So once I reach London, I'll call you." A person who has actually decided to do all these things, do you think he would have done and talked to his father like that?
Yeah.
Isn't it? See, not at all. See, it's a basic body language, body demeanor, and talk. What is the speech you have given or talking? Whatever the talk you have done, will give a slight idea, but somebody has got such an idea, isn't it? So, and in fact, I've spoken to a few of the 787 pilots because quite a few Air India pilots are also there who have gone from here. I know them. So they said he's a gentleman. He has been always like that. The residents in the colony have said like that. His cabin crew, many of the cabin crew sometimes chit with the captains because they keep pestering you, asking you, get this, get that. But he is a very gentleman person, always accommodative, trying to help us also in case required. That is what is the voice of everybody talking about them. Even let us say bizarre thing, suddenly something happened and he has decided. Definitely that one call which he has made to his father, I feel he would not have
just before
the flight, he would not have talked to his father like that. Definitely not.
Absolutely.
I am totally against whatever is happening in the world now. And one thing I really got it is that at the 11th hour on June 12th it has happened. July 12th, by July 11th, 30 days gets over. The 11th, by 30 days, the Annexure 13 says FICAO says it has to be released, prelim report. The 11th hour, in the evening around 11:30 they released. But 3 days before itself, everybody in the foreign media were talking about the fuel switches. Being the culprit, who cut off captain and all those things. How did the report leak to those people before how it was even released in India?
Interests.
We really know. Now also, we cannot. The problem is we cannot pinpoint anybody. There were so many people in the that particular group who were undergoing taking up the investigation, giving clean chit to Boeing, saying no problem with the engines.
Previous reports, if I'm not wrong, during 2018 and 19 regarding the same switches.
Correct. So there was a special bulletin, which was given by FAA, that's the regulatory body of America. So they said there is a problem, or there can be a problem with the locking mechanism. The same part number, they have given a list of part numbers because approximately the same switches are being used in different Boeing aircraft in other models also. So the switch which is used in 7878, which was involved in the incident, in the accident now. So that particular part number also is there. And there can be a chance that the locking mechanism can fail. That is what they said. So they said you better do an inspection. So that
everyday inspection was
so before the flight you just check and do. But Air India never bothered to do that because it was not a mandatory one. So it becomes mandatory.
Good to do, but not mandatory.
So if it's a mandatory one, it comes as an airworthiness directive. We call it as an AD. So it was not in that type. But UK has found some problems, I believe, in March, and then they came out saying this thing that mandatorily all the before this incident itself, that they are supposed to do everything. So now suddenly then DGC also woke up. Why? When you have made a report saying that there is no problem with the switches, Boeing has got no problem. Suddenly they have come up just about 1 week back also saying by July 21st, All the switches of whichever airlines are flying in
Will be
India
inspected?
should be inspected, and the
Okay.
report to be given to them whether they are okay or not. When you actually feel there is no
Now the
problem,
urgency.
now why did this need come up at all? Why did you have to tell the pilots to do this? That means there's at least a 0.001% that there could be a chance of switches failing. That means that is what you thought. Now that is the reason you asked everybody to check. Then can you not give that 1.1001% benefit of doubt to the pilot?
Yeah.
Can you not do that?
But will there be a final report also which can supersede
Yeah, see,
this
unfortunately, Jay, that
preliminary?
particular report takes about 1 year. Generally, what
1
we have
year.
seen in the earlier reports, because that will be an exhaustive report. Everything being checked and this thing, unless somebody intervenes and say, then yes,
But I
something
also
has to come.
understand that there is no pilot in the investigation team, or there
Yes,
should
that is
not be.
also, see, till now that has been the concept. Now the pilot unions and other things, at least as an observer, maybe they will not have a say in what is happening, at least as an observers to see what is happening, what is seeing. So now people are doubting, isn't it, how the report is made and all that.
And who selects this investigation bodies? DGCA?
DGC and it's basically them. And I mean, it is basic understanding DGCA. Then it is a regulatory authority that it has got the responsibility of getting the investigation done. So naturally, it goes who is the manufacturer of the aircraft, then who is this, who is that, so like that. And there was not even an AME of 787 also. It was only purely those people, and I believe there was an HL person. That is what they were saying in this thing, because connected with aviation. But otherwise, nobody from pilots, nobody was there. If they had one, at least the pilots would have had this thing. I mean, peace of mind. At least it was unbiased one, or maybe not a prejudiced
Yeah,
one.
now it seems like
Now they are
biased.
doubting, because they have flown, isn't it? Many of them have flown with that particular captain and that first officer. They feel they are not the type who could have done that. But still, there is a chance. See, like German Wings was one airline. There was a suicidal act done by the first officer. So we had a clear
German
picture.
Wings
We had a
crash.
clear picture there. That was a 320 aircraft, if I remember
That
right.
was deliberate, yeah. That was
So
deliberate.
he saw that the captain went out. Maybe he went to the loo or something, the captain. So the first officer was there inside. He locked himself. So I told you that door locking mechanism can be locked so that you cannot allow from outside anybody.
Yeah.
So he locked the door, and then he put they were flying at a very high altitude. Then he put an altitude of 100 and made the autopilot go down to that particular 100 feet. 100 feet is so close to the ground. And then it went and hit, and naturally and there's enough proof that it has been done like that.
Yeah.
Isn't it? You immediately say that yes, pilot has done. Everybody will agree that he saw that the pilot is the commander outside who has gone is going on banging the door. Open the door, open. He didn't respond, and all those things we have. I told everything as a proof that this is what has done, and he has actually done and deliberately done. So you're there. You're blaming whoever I think it was a co-pilot. He has read. There's a reason. I mean, correct. What you have done is not in this case. What doubt you have? Just because he has got some family problem somewhere, this thing. Now that also the media only is digging out.
Okay, been dug out now.
Media is digging out. Somewhere, sometime, something. How can you connect that one? Each one of us has got a problem like that. Sometime, somewhere, something, isn't it? Don't you have? Every human being has got a problem.
Unless it is on the same day, then it makes sense. It's
sometime,
not
not even 1 week, years back. Something they are taking that one and now trying to connect that one and say something. That is not definitely not correct on their part, and we are doing very injustice to the people who are not there on ground now.